You have
Yeah.
another aspect to your therapy that I'd love to touch on, and even through the lens of this Gen Z male, you touch on psychedelics used for treatment. Now,
Yeah.
it's been proven clinically that the use
Hmm.
of psychedelics, by, in a sense, giving folks that power of the third eye, you can kind of
Hmm.
see your own life
Hmm.
from this
Hmm.
other perspective. There's treatment for alcoholism.
Hmm.
I know that MDMA was in clinical trials
Yeah.
recently, and even
Oh, for
pharmaceutical
years.
companies are using ketamine
Yeah.
to treat depression and
Hmm.
anxiety.
Hmm.
There's pharmaceutical brand names that are there that are using inhalers and
Hmm.
nasal sprays of
Yeah.
special
Ketamine,
K,
nasal.
which
Hmm.
is coming from a major pharmaceutical company now to treat conditions. And I personally know many people who are on these therapies and doing
Sure.
much better thanks to
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They get their once a week, twice a week ketamine therapy, and it
Hmm.
chills them out. So I want to pass the mic back to you about the use of psychedelics for therapy, for coming to know yourself,
Yeah.
and how effective that is. And maybe even
Right.
for these, who knows, for these Gen Z guys, come on,
Yeah.
guys, you could trip your way
Yes.
into adulthood. That could be
Right.
the byline, like trip
But
your
it's not,
way
yeah. Trip
into
your way.
growing the hell up.
Yeah. Well, help you grow up, show up, and shape up, really,
Oh,
in
awesome.
your
I love
life.
that.
You
Grow
know, you
up,
want to
show
do
up, and shape up.
shape
That's
up.
great. Shape up.
It's
Yeah.
what we're doing. It's the path we're all on.
Right.
No shame. We're
Right.
all, I always
Right.
say humans, there's no such thing as a perfect human.
Yeah.
Humans are radically valuable and radically imperfect. It's a both and game here.
Right.
So we all have growing edges. We've got to have some humility about the fact that we're still learning. We're still figuring things out. Yeah, that's human. No apology for that
Yeah.
at all. So what about psychedelics and healing trauma, and especially complex trauma like we've been talking about sexually? When we shame a kid for being them, but it's like we'd be shaming them from being creative at every single step of the way. It'd be horrible. We would have doomed their careers, right?
Yeah.
To not have creativity carved out of them. So that, just a brief, and people can do their own research, but MDMA was in clinical trials, I think, for 15 years. It presented conclusive evidence to the FDA in the way the FDA had requested that they run their studies a decade before. They presented the evidence and politically got turned down.
Well, recently, I know a little bit about this too. Recently, the one company that did do the MDMA clinical trials kind of blew the study, to be honest. It wasn't necessarily a political problem recently, but the company even admitted that they were negligent in terms of how the study was conducted. There was conflict of interest. There was leading the witness on the part of the study researchers,
Yeah, I know
and
there's a, yeah.
it was a messy study, and it kind of blew it. However, going years back, a lot of these drugs were illegal. They stopped studying them, including LSD, which has
Yeah,
tons of
absolutely.
potential. So I agree with you
Absolutely.
in principle. I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
factually that the most recent MDMA clinical trials were flawed. And the reason that they got rejected by the company's own admission, too, is that they kind of blew the shot.
Well, you have to do a deeper dive than that, I'm just going to say,
Yeah.
because there is a particular company that is going, or group that is going out of their way to try to discredit what happened with MAPS.
Okay.
And it's there's a whole lot to that. There's a whole lot to
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I've
We don't
read
need to
and
get
listened to
into it.
most of
You don't need
it.
to get into it. The tragedy, though, is that
Yeah.
you and I are in
Yeah.
100% agreement that, for
Yes.
example, MDMA has
Yes.
amazing therapeutic potential.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Incredible.
I'm all in. I'm all
Yeah.
in, and I would
And
apply the same thing to ketamine, which is already proven, to lysergic acid dimethylamide, which is already proven. And all of these goodies are potentially enormous for human
Right.
therapy, self-reflection, and all that.
For
And it's
all
been our
kinds of
idiotic
healing.
government, the drug war, which is,
Yeah.
you
So
know,
ketamine is federally approved. We were
yeah,
seeking MDMA approval and we should have gotten it. And
yeah,
I know this stuff inside and out.
yeah,
So yeah, I won't get into it, but it's the results of the studies are really incredible. People who have had 20 plus years of severe PTSD trauma symptoms
yeah, definitely.
go
Yeah,
into this study.
yeah,
A year later, 68% still are not showing any sign of PTSD on a assessment test that they had taken before. It's not there. A year later, like, it can really rewire the brain.